It came to Simon as he ran that he could not be this person. He could not walk away, never to return, never to know. So he followed them and found himself in a large crowd warming themselves at braziers in the courtyard of an inn. Inside, it proved surprisingly difficult to make a respectable case against Yeshua. The witnesses all knew what was expected of them, but in their eagerness to please, advanced claims which even the partisan crowd found laughable. A group of 4 street sellers dressed smartly for the occasion had a blood-curdling tale to tell. One claimed to have seen a church dismantled and offered to take anyone who disagreed with him to inspect the rubble. Paul, the leader of the group of well-dressed men whose will had plucked Yeshua from the orchard, took control of proceedings. "Have you nothing to say?" he asked Yeshua. "How can it be that so many people think you are a criminal, a menace to society?" Yeshua said nothing. "Are your words God's words?" Paul asked. "Are you from God?" "I am," said Yeshua, his throat catching as he broke his silence. "You see God in me. You will see glory and truth." "We need no other witnesses," Paul told them. "This tramples underfoot everything we believe, everything we hold dear." "He hates you," he said. "He hates your God. You have heard it from his own lips." He asked his final question. "What is your verdict?" The verdict seemed to be death. Outside, despite the braziers, Simon found it difficult to stop shivering. A young woman noticed him. She was curious. "You were with Yeshua, weren't you?" she asked. Simon denied it. "I don't know what you're talking about." Hoping to merge into the crowd, he struck up a conversation with an elderly man carrying a puppy. She pointed to him, wanting attention. "He is with Yeshua," she said. "She's talking rubbish," he said. Someone else said, "I think you're one of Yeshua's fishermen. You certainly talk like a fisherman." "For God's sake," Simon shouted, "how many times do I have to tell you? I don't even know who you're talking about." There was silence, broken by the crowing of a cock in his run in the corner of the courtyard. People turned from Simon as he raised his hands and dug his fingernails into his face. Tears ran down his cheeks. The elderly man placed a gentle hand on Simon's shoulder, then turned and made his slow way home with the puppy sleeping in his arms. Paul and his colleagues took Yeshua and their story straight to the governor. They did not have the right to kill people, technically. The governor did. The governor was less than amused to be interrupted at lunch, but it was best to nip this in the bud. "Is it you who's been bringing God to my city?" he asked Yeshua. "As you say," he replied. A young man in street clothes stepped forward and asked about a friend of his called Majid. Majid and others had attacked the barracks with stones and bottles and beaten the young soldier to death. It might have been an accident. It was doubtless political in some way. So the young man wanted Majid freed in honour of the carnival. The governor crossed to the main door and went out to the steps. As he had been told, there was a big crowd. Seeing him, they fell silent. "I'm going to release someone for the carnival again," he announced. "I am prepared to release Yeshua." "There is an alternative, I think," said Paul, smiling politely. The governor shrugged. It was nothing to him. "I'm also prepared to release Majid," he announced, "but not both of them." "You want me to release Majid?" he asked the crowd. There was a roar of approval. "So what about your man of God? What about Yeshua? Kill him!" they shouted. The governor looked at Yeshua standing silently between Paul's men. "Do what you want," he said, and went back to his lunch.